Shi, your cell phone is ringing. Xiaoyunzhou said coldly. Eh? The girl who was called out sounded confused. When she woke up, her mumbling was sweet and milky. When this voice rang out, Xiaoyunzhou's agitated mood instantly calmed down. Anyway, it was already dawn. It was time to wake up. Shi touched her cell phone and reached out to swipe it. Her voice was both milky and fierce. Who is it? They were calling so early in the morning. Did they have any morals? Shi, you have a part today. Remember to come to the production team. A noisy voice came from the other side. The man was chewing on a cigarette and scolded, Did you King forget? Shi sat up from her deathbed. The production team? CK. I knew you forgot. King stood me up again. The man cursed. I moved your part to the afternoon. You have to be there this afternoon. She pulled the memories of the original owner and remembered that she was still playing the second female lead in a production team. In the novel, the original owner was too sad about the fake daughter and directly rejected the play. Later, when she was found out by netizens that she refused to act, the netizens said that she was unprofessional and dragged down the production team, making it impossible for the play to be released normally. The scandal was a big blow to her career later. She had a headache. God, if you don't like me, please hit me with lightning and kill me. Don't play me like this. Outside the window, the sky was clear after the rain. Although she was reluctant, she could only get up and prepare to return to the city. The original owner could willfully terminate the contract with the crew, but she couldn't. She needed money, and she needed to earn more money. She needed to stay away from the female lead, from the Sure family, and live the life of a rich woman. She could fish, but she couldn't feed the fish. After breakfast, the car that came to pick up Xiaoyunzhou arrived. She directly used his car to return to Feng City. Before returning to the city, she was very reluctant to part with the Ning couple. How nice was the countryside. There were honest parents and fresh air. Without the plot and the main characters, she would not be fed to the fish. If she could, she was willing to stay in Longquan village forever. However, she did not know how to farm. If she stayed, she could only leech off the Ning parents. Looking at the figures of the Ning parents, it seemed that they could not let her gnaw on them. She bid farewell to the Ning family's parents and got into the car. The Ning family's parents also liked their daughter very much. They reluctantly sent Shi away and even told her to come back and play when she had time. In the car, Xiaoyunzhou sat in the back seat. He had a notebook on his lap and was processing his mail. Shi sat beside him and tried her best to minimize her presence, hoping that she did not offend the big boss. Xiaoyunzhou was reading the email when his shoulder suddenly sank. She was leaning against his shoulder and falling asleep. Xiaoyunzhou wanted to laugh in his heart. She was so afraid of him, hiding in a corner when she was sitting in the car, but now she was leaning against his shoulder and falling asleep? How interesting. Xiaoyunzhou used his other hand to click on the email, trying to make sure she sleep as comfortably as possible. When the assistant sitting in the front row saw it, his pupils trembled. Is this President Xie? He actually let the opposite sex lean on his shoulder? Oh my god! Then, something even more shocking happened. Because the girl was leaning on Xiaoyunzhou's shoulder, she did not sleep well, so she slid down a little. Xiaoyunzhou closed the notebook and simply let the girl lie on his lap. The assistant looked at the scene in shock. What did he see? A knee pillow? President Xie actually suspended his work for her? The assistant originally wanted to report on the progress of the project in the car, but after thinking about it, he decided to shut up. By following President Xie, he had learned to read people's expressions. President Xie clearly had a different idea about this young woman. This little girl seemed to be the fake daughter of the Sure family? She had never crossed paths with President Xie before. With this thought in mind, the assistant dutifully took out his phone and began to investigate Shi's information. The car finally stopped outside the set. Xiaoyunzhou looked at Shi, who was still sleeping, and could only lament that Shi was sleeping really well. Seeing that Xiaoyunzhou did not say anything, his assistant also pretended not to know anything. Not long after, Shi woke up and realized that something was wrong. She seemed to have fallen asleep? Moreover, she seemed to have fallen asleep in a place that she shouldn't have? Shi raised her head and forced a smile. Xiaoyunzhou? Xiaoyunzhou said plainly, I just happened to pass by the production team and dropped you off. Thank you, boss. Shi got up from his lap and realized that something was wrong. Why was she drooling when she was sleeping? Shi stared at Xiaoyunzhou's pants and her face turned red. Xiaoyunzhou followed the girl's gaze and his face slowly turned cold. Although it was a black suit, the trace of saliva was very obvious. Shi said sincerely, I'm sorry. I really didn't do it on purpose. Don't throw me into the river to feed the fish. Xiaoyunzhou was expressionless. I know you didn't do it on purpose. You were snoring just now. Even more awkward. Shirshi thought. The car drove away, leaving Shirshi alone in a mess in the wind. Shirshi looked at the car that had gone far away and wanted to apologize sincerely again, but she had already been chased out of the car. She hoped that the big boss villain would not throw her into the river and feed her to the fishes in a fit of anger. Miss Shir, you're finally here. The staff of the production team came forward and said respectfully while panting, please go and do your makeup and hair first. Shirshi retracted her thoughts and went to do her makeup and hair in peace. While she was doing her makeup and hair, Shirshi took out the script and prepared to recite the lines. When she saw the script for the overbearing school bully fell in love with me, Shirshi fell silent. Was there still time to run? She flipped open the script and saw that this was a school drama. The content and the title of the drama were very compatible. A silly white and sweet Cinderella had provoked the overbearing school bully on her first day of school and even accidentally kissed him. The two of them couldn't stand each other, and later they started to fall in love with each other. Meanwhile, Shirshi was playing the school belle supporting role. She had a crush on the domineering school bully, but the school bully only had silly white and sweet Cinderella in his heart. Shirshi could only use all sorts of tricks to frame silly white and sweet Cinderella. Shirshi had never expected that in real life, when she was a vicious supporting role, the role she played would also be a vicious supporting role. Forget it, forget it. For the sake of the pay, she had to endure it. As long as she earned money, she would be able to get rid of the female lead, get a promotion and raise her salary, marry a rich and beautiful husband, and walk to the peak of her life. After finishing her makeup and hair, Shirshi looked at herself in the mirror and felt that she was too beautiful. She had looked at herself in the mirror yesterday and was already in a very beautiful state without makeup. She was like a hibiscus flower emerging from the water and did not need to be decorated. However, after putting on makeup, she was as bright as fire and could not be ignored in the crowd. No wonder the host had such a bad personality and was able to make it to the second-rate starlet in the entertainment industry. Looking at her face, it was as if God was feeding her with a spoon. Sure, she was full of confidence in her career in the entertainment industry. For the next scene, Shirshi. Is Shirshi ready? The director held a cigarette in his mouth and shouted through the loudspeaker. Shirshi got up and walked out of the dressing room. For a moment, everyone in the production team followed this beautiful woman. Her long brown hair was tied into a single ponytail, and her skin was as white as jade, with a hint of pink. Her eyebrows were curved, and under her long and narrow eyelashes, her black and bright eyes were like the twinkling stars in the night sky. Her confidence was shining, as if the place she was at had become a scenery of its own. The director looked at Shirshi and waited for the ashes to fall on his hand before he came back to his senses. He said to the loudspeaker, "All departments, get ready for the fourth scene." The crew members also came back to their senses and did their own things. What was the use of looking good? She had a bad temper and bad acting skills. She was late every day and delayed the progress. There were even some people who patted the male lead's shoulder sympathetically. The camera was set up. This scene was the scene of Guangha and Shirshi acting together. Guangha was the male lead. He was tall and handsome. In the scene, he was the domineering school bully. Outside of the scene, he was actually the image of a gentle brother next door. Shirshi hugged her book and walked side by side with him. She said, "It's my birthday on Saturday. Don't forget it." Guangha was still thinking about the silly and sweet female lead. He replied absent-mindedly, "Got it." Shirshi bit her lip and looked at him carefully. "Are you thinking about that transfer student? How is that possible? Why would I think of someone who has nothing to do with me?" Guangha jumped up as if his tail had been stepped on. "I remember that I still have something to do. You can go home first." Shirshi looked at his back and wanted to chase after him, but in the end, she lowered her eyes in disappointment. The director stared at the screen and gasped in surprise. After not seeing her for a few days, Shirshi's acting skills had improved. Her acting skills were awkward and eye-catching before, but today, she was much more pleasing to the eye. She did not make any mistakes when she acted with Guangha. "Pass." The director nodded. "Not bad, not bad. Guangha performed very well. Shirshi is in good condition today. Prepare for the next scene." There was a large section below where the male and female lead roles were played. Shirshi was reading the script at the side. It had to be said that this malicious woman had quite a lot of supporting roles. Shirshi's NGs were very few throughout the day. This play was a school play and did not have too complicated a plot. Shirshi acted with ease. It was not until the work was done that Shirshi stretched and realized that she had not eaten. She was so hungry. Shirshi was about to go eat something when she turned around and saw Xie Yunzhou's assistant. "Why are you here?" They had just met in the morning, so Shirshi's memory was not that bad. The assistant smiled and said, "Hello, Miss Shir. I'm here to pick you up for dinner." Sure, she was so hungry that she swallowed her saliva and asked, "You?" The assistant pointed at the Porsche near the set and lowered his voice. "President Xie is in the car." Sure, she was slightly surprised. Didn't his ribs break? He wasn't hospitalized? The assistant was silent for a moment before saying, "No, it's just a minor injury." Sure, she thought to herself, Father Ning's medical skills are really terrible. Why is he treating me to a meal? Sure, she did not really want to interact with the big-shot villain. After all, she had dirted his pants in the morning. She was really afraid that this meal would be a death sentence. President Xie said that this meal is to thank you for saving him. The assistant added, "President Xie has been waiting for you for an hour." What he meant was that you should get in the car quickly. If you let President Xie wait any longer, you would be the unlucky one. Sure, she sighed and resigned herself to fate as she walked toward the Porsche. At most, she would compensate him with a pair of pants. Although she could not inherit the shares of the Sure family, she was not so destitute that she could not afford a pair of pants. After getting into the car, Sure, she sat in it and said to Xie Yunzhou, "Good evening. Have you eaten?" Xie Yunzhou said plainly, "Thanks to you, I haven't eaten yet." "What are you being so weird about? Did I make you wait?" However, Sure, she would never dare to voice such complaints. "I haven't eaten either." Sure, she leaned against the back of the chair and held her stomach. Not only did she not eat dinner, but she also did her makeup and hair, so she didn't even have lunch. Xie Yunzhou passed his phone over. "What do you want to eat? Order it yourself." When Sure she saw the menu, her eyes instantly lit up. She ordered boiled fish slices and braised pork ribs, and Xie Yunzhou added a few more. The two of them ordered the dishes in advance. When they reached the private room of Qingshui restaurant, the dishes were just served. Sure, she's eyes curved. "Then I won't stand on ceremony." When Xie Yunzhou saw that the girl was so brazen, his appetite improved. He went to the hospital first today. After checking that there were no problems, he went straight back to work. In the afternoon, Xie Yunzhou could not help but think of Shirshi. He thought that after all, Shirshi had saved him and fed him yesterday. No matter what, he should repay her. However, Xie Yunzhou did not have Shirshi's contact information, so he could only wait for her at the production team. Fortunately, he had waited. Xie Yunzhou looked at Shirshi, who was engrossed in her food. His usually cold and indifferent eyes were filled with a hint of a smile. He even poured her a cup of tea. Shirshi paused. The big villain had personally poured her a cup of tea. It couldn't really be a death sentence, right? Is there anything else you need from me?" Shirshi hesitated for a moment before asking. She had not framed the female lead yet. Xie Yunzhou would not go so far as to kill her, right? She had even saved Xie Yunzhou. Xie Yunzhou should at least know how to be a human, right? "Yes." Xie Yunzhou nodded and took out his phone. "Add me on WeChat." Shirshi's breathing stopped. She took out her phone and was about to add Xie Yunzhou on WeChat when her phone rang. The screen lit up. The caller was fiancé. Xie Yunzhou did not have the habit of peeking at other people's phone screens, but Shirshi's phone screen was right in front of him. He could see it with just a glance. He could not ignore it even if he wanted to. The aura around Xie Yunzhou instantly turned cold. He lowered his eyes to hide the coldness in his eyes. Did she already have a fiancé? "Sorry, I have to take this call first." Sure, she was a little embarrassed. She picked up the phone and said, "Hello?" Her fiancé said coldly, "Come to the old residence tomorrow. My parents want to see you." Sure, she hesitated and said, "I have to go to the production team tomorrow." Her fiancé was stunned for a moment. In the past, when Shirshi heard that she was going to the Sheng family's old residence, she would never refuse. "What about the day after tomorrow?" her fiancé asked. Shirshi looked at her schedule and said, "I'm free the day after tomorrow, but I want to sleep in." The girl's voice was soft and tender. It could be heard that she really did not want to go to the Sheng family's old mansion. Xie Yunzhou listened to the girl's phone call and wondered if she and her fiancé had a bad relationship? Who was Shirshi's fiancé again? Xie Yunzhou had never been interested in such gossip. He had only heard a few sentences about Shirshi being a fake daughter, or because there were too many people discussing it. If he had known earlier, he would have paid more attention to it. While he was thinking, Shirshi's call had already reached an end. "All right, I'll go over the day after tomorrow at 10 o'clock. You don't have to pick me up. I'll go over directly." "Okay, that's it." After hanging up the call, Xie Yunzhou casually asked, "You're already engaged?" It's an engagement set at home." When Shirshi remembered that her fiancé was the male lead, her mood instantly turned sour. How would she dare to snatch the male lead from the female lead? Did she dislike her own long life? Xie Yunzhou saw Shirshi's expression and narrowed his eyes slightly. "You had a fight with him?" "No. Forget it, let's not talk about him anymore." Sure, she did not want to recall the original owner's experience as a dog-licking dog. Adding Xiaoyunzhou's WeChat, her mood was subtle. You just wanted to treat me to a meal? Thank you for saving me. Xiaoyunzhou attributed everything to gratitude and asked, what do you want? Just tell me. If it was in ancient times, sure she would have wanted a get-out-of-jail-free card. However, there was no such thing now. Sure, she could only say, I just saved you on the way. You weren't seriously injured. Even if I didn't save you, you would still be fine. After all, in the original plot, the villain was not missing a limb. To you, it's just a piece of cake. Xiaoyunzhou smiled gently and decided to slowly repay her kindness. I'll send you home first. Thinking of the female lead of the Sure family, Sure-Shi's head ached. Why couldn't she avoid the main characters of the plot? I'm not going home. Sure-Shi stood up and said, I'm going to a hotel. Xiaoyunzhou had always been cold and indifferent to women. At this moment, his Adam's apple moved slightly. Are you sure? This was fast forward to the point where he had to give himself to her? He was fine with it, but Sure-Shi seemed to have a fiancé. Was it good for them to do this? Sure-Shi nodded. I'll stay at the hotel next to the production team so that we can start work tomorrow morning. I thought too much. After sending Sure-Shi to the hotel, Xiaoyunzhou asked, who is Sure-Shi's fiancé? The assistant had already found out about this. He said unhurriedly, Miss Sure's fiancé is Xing Yan of the Xing family. The parents of the two families are friends. Before they were born, they arranged a marriage between them. Xiaoyunzhou was deep in thought. So, the one who is engaged to Xing Yan is actually the real daughter of the Sure family? Yes. The assistant glanced at the boss expression and said, Miss Sure and Xing Yan are childhood sweethearts. I heard that Miss Sure has always considered herself as Xing Yan's girlfriend. The atmosphere in the car instantly turned cold. Achoo! In the room, Sure-Shi sneezed, wondering who was thinking about her. It couldn't be Xiaoyunzhou? Sure-Shi was aggrieved. She clearly did not do anything. How did she end up offending the big bad guy? Huh? Xiaoxi, you do not go home to live? The director saw when Sure-Shi appeared in the hotel, asking with some doubt. Sure-Shi held the room card in her hand. This place is close to the production team, so I won't be staying at home for a while. The director patted Sure-Shi's shoulder in relief. Not bad, not bad. You did well today. If there's anything unclear about the script, you can come and find me anytime. Sure-Shi nodded, her eyes shining. I'll definitely study the script well. She had to earn money. The two of them entered the elevator together. The director said with a sigh, finish filming this drama properly. As long as nothing happens, it will definitely become popular. Sure-Shi's looks were outstanding. She was the type that the gods would chase after to feed. As long as she did not seek death, she could make a name for herself in the entertainment industry just based on her looks. However, just as the two of them entered the elevator, a long camera extended out from the greenery and aimed at the two of them. Sure-Shi returned to her room and her phone rang. When she picked it up, she heard the threat from the other side. I have photos of you and the director getting a room together. If you don't want these photos to be leaked, prepare 500,000. Sure-Shi, are you crazy? Sure-Shi, who thought that they were a liar, instantly hung up the phone. She did not forget to blacklist them as well. She was so sleepy that she quickly went to sleep. Thinking that she would have to deal with the male protagonist's family in 2 days, Sure-Shi felt hopeless in life. How could she get rid of this lousy engagement? She was so annoyed that she couldn't sleep. 3 minutes later, Sure-Shi was already dead asleep. The silent cell phone kept flashing on the bedside table. Sure-Shi just turned over and covered her head with the quilt. Weibo. Hashtag Sure-Shi meeting director at night. Hashtag hot search. The paparazzi took a photo of Sure-Shi. They wanted to threaten Sure-Shi and get her to pay for it. They didn't expect Sure-Shi to hang up on them. The paparazzi was so angry that they directly linked their marketing accounts and exposed this video. Times were changing. The video of Sure-Shi opening a room and entering the elevator with the director was especially clear. It was so clear that they could clearly see Sure-Shi's beauty. Oh my god, my sister is so beautiful. Her eyes are really dark and bright. Sister Sure-Shi is sweet and cute. I didn't expect her to follow the unspoken rules. What a pity. Don't get close to the entertainment industry. You'll become unlucky. The director is so disgusting. He's already 40 years old, right? Can an old cow eat young grass? Can he eat it? I originally quite liked Sure-Shi, but I didn't expect her to be this kind of person. It turns out that her previous innocence was all for sale. No way, no way, no way. Don't tell me that people really believe that there are still innocent girls in the entertainment industry? The public opinions were all directed at Sure-Shi. Sure-Shi's Weibo originally only had 24,000 fans, and more than half of them were zombie fans. In the end, when this black trending search came up, The number of fans soared by 100,000, and it was even increasing. Big sister is so beautiful. I want to be big sister's puppy. Something's wrong with you. Sure, she is a fair, rich, and beautiful woman. How could she have any unspoken rules? There must be some misunderstanding. The video has already been released, and there's still a misunderstanding? The sudden appearance of the dark material and the comments made sure she become familiar overnight. Many netizens began to dig into her past through her Weibo. However, in an instant, the trending topic was removed. All topics related to Shirshi were blocked and could no longer be discussed.